Hello there, and welcome to this McKinsey case interview example. Today, we want to show you a best-in-class solution you can use to prepare for your interviews and know exactly what standard you should be aiming for. My name is Sebastian. I'm the founder of careerinconsulting.com and a former strategy consultant. So that's the case we will solve today. But before you pause the video and think about this problem, and before we jump into the solution to this problem, let's discuss what McKinsey interviewers expect from you. They will assess your framework against these three factors. Your issue tree must be messy, logic driven, and tailored. So let's discuss what it means. The first factor is messy. Okay, you probably know what messy means. You have to identify all the factors influencing the problem. And you need to group these factors into buckets that are mutually exclusive and collectively exhaustive. If you don't know what messy means, you can check in the description of this video. I put a link to a comprehensive guide about the messy principle. You will find a lot of examples there. The second factor is logic driven. And this is probably the most overlooked factor. So to explain this factor, let's use a case example. And let's use actually a bad example, okay, a bad solution. So the case prompt can be this one. Our client is Berger. Berger is a brewer company. And they are thinking of entering a new market segment, okay? They are thinking of entering the bottled water market. And they ask for our help. So how would you approach this problem? No, most candidates would actually approach this problem like this. They would say something like, I would like to analyze 4 buckets: the market, the competition, the customers, and the company. And while these buckets are messy or looks messy, there are still something missing. The logical connection between these buckets and the problem is missing. And that's wrong. Okay? If you don't make the logical connection clear, you will be rejected. So for instance, you want to say, I want to analyze the market to understand that, and that will be helpful to solve the problem. I want to analyze the competition to understand that, and that will be helpful to solve the problem. That's a logical connection, okay? You want to be extremely clear about the outcome of your analysis and how this outcome is useful to solve the problem. Now the third factor. The third factor is tailored. Okay, you want to customize, to tailor your structure to the problem you have to solve. You don't want to use a generic framework. Let's take another example. Let's imagine the following case prompt. So your client is retailer co. It's a retailer, okay, think of Zara. And after years of steady growth, they have been experiencing declining sales. So the CEO of Retailer Co. asks your help to turn around the situation. So here you have a very simple, very basic framework. But this framework is messy. Okay, we can assume we have a messy framework here. We divided the sales in volume and price. You can even make it better by saying, okay, we want to understand why the sales are going down. And for that, we want to understand if the volumes are responsible for that, okay, if the volume declined. Or we want to assess to understand if the price declined. So if you do this, you have a kind of logic. But is it still a good framework? Probably not. Okay, because it sounds too generic. If you use a framework like this, you're not going to stand out because most candidates know this. So how you can make your framework more customized, more tailored for the problem you have to solve. And for that, you must use specific issues that are important in the business of your client. For instance, you can say, okay, for this retailer, for a retailer, we can break down the sales like this. On one side, we have the footprint. Okay, how many stores do they have? And on the other side, we have the performance per store. And probably we have, some stores performing better than others. And that's where we are going to find out this here. Then you can break down the sales per store by product category. And maybe later in your issue tree, you want to discuss the volume and the price. But it comes later. So maybe here this issue tree is not perfect, but at least is more tailored for the situation of our client. Okay, we have included issues that are specific to the retail business. So to summarize, your McKinsey interviewers expect you to come up with an issue tree that is messy, logic-driven, and tailored. Okay, now let's focus on our McKinsey example. So the case prompt is the following. Your client is eCarco. eCarco is a Japanese leading manufacturer of electric passenger vehicles. And they've been struggling with a low market share in the B2B segment. They enjoy strong positions in the B2C space, both domestically and in the international market. However, eCarco sales to small and medium-sized businesses continue staying far below expectations. So the CEO has invited you to help them out. On the other side, you will have additional information. Okay, that would be additional information you would get after asking clarifying questions. So now you can pause the video and think about how you would approach this problem. Okay, develop a framework, develop an issue tree that is messy, logic-driven, and tailored for this case. And then you can restart the video and I will show you my solution. Okay, now let's discuss how I would solve this problem. First, I would start with the quantitative analysis. Okay, my first objective would be to understand where the problem is. Okay, I want to isolate the problem. I want to know exactly which segment is actually underperforming. So for that, I would break down our client market shares into different segments. We know that they are selling their products in Japan or in international markets. We know they have probably different types of vehicles. We know they have different types of clients, small businesses, medium businesses. So I would try to segment their sales and check which segment is actually underperforming. So you can see here my first issue tree. Okay, I would discuss with the interviewer which segmentation criteria makes more sense. And then I would use this criteria to break down the market shares like this. And then I will ask the interviewer for the value for these different buckets, okay, to see again what is underperforming, to understand where the problem is. The next step would be to do a more qualitative analysis. Okay, after we have isolated the problem, I want to understand what are the root causes. I want to understand why this specific segment is underperforming. And for that, I would actually explore four main buckets. Okay, I would check if the product is not aligned with the market or is not competitive enough. I would analyze our pricing, I would analyze our marketing, and I would analyze our sales and distribution. And for these four main categories, I would brainstorm and try to find ideas that actually are specific to this client, okay, to the business of this client. So, for instance, for our product, I would check if some features of our products, of our electric cars, are not competitive. Okay, maybe it takes too much time to charge the vehicles. Okay, and the charging time is very important for customers. So that's something I would add in my issue tree. And you can see on this page many ideas. Okay, so probably your interviewer does not expect you to come up with so many ideas, but here I try to give you a good list. The next step for me would be actually to choose, to prioritize which ideas I want to analyze further. Okay, and then I would ask more data to the interviewer to go back to the charging time. If I decide that, okay, it might be my hypothesis, it might be the reason why our client is underperforming in this segment, I would ask, data about how long is our charging time compared to other players, for instance. And then, like this, I would try to actually understand what are the root causes. Okay, now if you want to develop your case writing skills, I've prepared 4 free case interview courses. Okay, you can check in the description below. You will have a link to these 4 free case interview courses. So I hope you find it useful. Make sure to subscribe and like this video. You can also visit us at careerconsulting.com. There you will find more videos and useful guides, all completely free. So thank you and good luck with your interview.